All right, it is 5:01 on Friday, January 29th, and we're live. Happy Friday. Um, this week I'm diving back into a project from before Christmas where I started working on a CFML language definition for Prism.js, and there were just some edge cases that I couldn't get worked out in the earlier streams, so I'm diving back into it this week, hoping to get it sorted, or at least to a place where I could share it with some other people, maybe get some more feedback before I submit it as a PR. So here's where we're at. I looked at this a tiny bit before I got started. Um, this here, if you can see it, and maybe I need to zoom in a bit. This here is basically my test function. I think I have most of what I want highlighted in this block of code, and I'm actually gonna, I'm gonna shrink this down a little bit, and you'll see why in a minute. So we got 18 lines here that has most of what I want to deal with. Now, I've got let's hop over. I've started my CF script language definition, and I've got a lot of the highlighting here that I want. So let me grab my my test script, and where we're working on this is within Prism's test drive page, which let's just see how that looks. That should be visible. I'm going to do this in the tomorrow night theme. Okay, so Prism's test page. You can pick a language. I've got my CFML one highlighted, and pasting in that test. This is the highlighting that I have for it right now. So it's able to highlight most things. If we inspect here, and this is going to be the key because I'm going to have to put together tests for it. And I don't think you can actually, I don't know if I can zoom in. Oh, I can. 3, 4. I didn't know if I could zoom in the console here. So you can see this as well. Make it a little bigger. If I highlight component here, you'll see that it's highlighted as a keyword. String here is going to be highlighted as a string because it is, but like over here, see Boolean is going to be highlighted as like a type or a built-in. So that all looks pretty good. The first thing I noticed coming back to it was that my scopes aren't highlighting. So this dot and arguments dot aren't getting highlighted, and I have a block for them. So I'm going to take a look at those first. So not in here, in my actual language definition. I have a block for scopes, and I'm not sure why this is not capturing. For one, I know that I'm pretty sure that I want these to be followed by a dot always. So I'm going to need to add that, and my regex, sometimes my regex is good and sometimes it's bad. Regexer. There's Gskinner's regexer, which I use a lot, but of late it's been a bit flaky, so if it doesn't load, I'm going to have to grab a different regexer just to look at the regex that I have. Yeah, it's looking a little, I don't know, it's been timing out recently, which has been weird. So we'll just do regex online. Didn't spell online right, which is fine. Okay, let's zoom in here so we can see what we're doing. And let me look at that. So first of all, let me look at this string here, because I don't even remember what I was doing for my keyword highlighting, because it's going to be similar. The part I was really concerned about is what am I doing with this? I'm saying it's a negative look ahead. Give me a reference here. Lookarounds. Where are lookarounds? Meta sequences? No. Anchors, general tokens, common. Group constructs. Named capturing groups. Okay, look behind. So this was a doopy negative look ahead. Look ahead, look at succeed, whatever. This is frustrating. I'm just gonna try this one more time. I don't know if this is like running on a Heroku instance that's like down for an hour a day or something, or if they just like, oh yeah, okay. You know what? Nothing against regex 101, but I'm just more familiar with this interface. So we'll zoom in, 3, 4. And we've got our, alright, what do we got over here? Negative look ahead, so we got a little definition. Specifies a group that cannot match after the main expression. So that is obviously not what I want for the dots. I want something that does match. Alright, so we won't match that. Instead, I think we can probably just put a, up here. It's going to be any of those, followed by, can I just do a dot? Ooh, but dot's a special character, so maybe I have to escape that dot. And let's see what this looks like. Let's see what this whole line looks like in regexer. And then we'll move it back over to Prism. So that should, escaped character matches a dot. And that is the word boundary. Actually, this would probably not be a word boundary at this point. It would be, maybe that's the problem. Because it's not followed by a word, it's followed by a, so let's grab our, I'm going to put my demo text into the regexer online here too. Okay, so now I'm getting those captured. So I wonder if I save that and refresh it, am I gonna get what I want in the in Prism? So let's give it a refresh, and it's not. I'm not getting that. I'm not getting this dot highlighted. These, I'm going to inspect them. I'm just not getting anything. Let's get a little closer on this inspect. Code class, token, accessor. I'm not even down by. Get me to that something. Property string. Function init this. So I just have token punctuation? No, punctuation is on the dot there. And then, well, that should actually, this, I suppose, this in the, what do we got here? We got punctuation on that, and we have a new line with this, has no highlighting on it. Then token punctuation on the dot followed by something. That's fine, but this needs to get captured there. So we're going to figure out why it's not getting captured. Sorry, let me see what's going on here. That's not something we care about. We'll get rid of the, most of these have word boundaries, but maybe we don't need it here. Just give that a shot. No. We'll put our word boundary back. I mean, this should, why would this not match applications? This, any of these, followed, oh, let's look at that. Do we have a punctuation one here ourselves? We don't. So what we're doing here is we're extending the C-like language. So maybe something from that language is interfering with what we have here. Boolean function, number, operator, punctuation. Those look fine. Those are the keywords that they have. Class name, string, or string. Let's just take a look at what's going on with string. Although it's not getting highlighted. It's not that. Okay. All right, so scope, again, not being highlighted. So let's see, okay, let's see if the dot has something to do with it. Like if I do this, okay, if I move the something away from it, that's not getting highlighted. If I move this away, let's change the highlighting to get rid of that dot. Let's see if we can get this to hit anything. So we have any of these, word boundary, all in ORs. Any of these should be captured as a scope aliased as global. So we're going to refresh, and it's not getting highlighted. Inspect. Oh, no, it is. I'm sorry. Okay, that's good. All right, so we did get it here. It's just that in this, okay, so let's find out something. What the issue here is that, I'm glad I inspected that. This theme does not highlight scope global, or the global token any differently than anything else. So do any of them? That's kind of frustrating. That's going to be hard to work with if none of them. That's well, it is capture. Okay, so I'm just gonna have to deal with this myself. All right, let's put that back. This may have just been a misunderstanding. So we'll put that dot back and we'll save it. We got these. That's saved. Test drive. Refresh. Let's bump these. Let's bump this back next to something. And let's inspect here. Okay. Let's inspect. Come on, people, let's inspect. I don't know why Chrome's not getting me to where I want to be here. What if I inspect the return? There we go. Okay, so we jump back. This is not captured in that case. All right, so we know that these are followed by a dot. I don't think I need it to be greedy, because it's not getting captured as anything, which to me says that this whole matching group is missing effectively. What if I just put it in its own capturing group? It's part of it. If I inspect it now, do I get anything? Inspect. Come on. I don't know how much. Yeah, you should be able to see this on the screen. So token, keyword, return, punctuation, something. This, once again, I don't have anything wrapping it. Oh, maybe I don't need. Well, you think I would need the dot here. Let's throw this into GSkinner. I believe this was capturing it there, which makes me think that there's some type of conflict. So captured, group 1, group 2. That captures it fine. But within this, I'm not. It's a hard time jumping to where I want it to. Foo. So where's arguments? Once again, in this case, arguments is getting missed. Alright, so to confirm, let's get rid of that. Refresh. I really do wish that I had a style in here that was highlighting the this. Still not captured. That was highlighting the globals differently so that I didn't need to dig in inspecting each time I wanted to change it. So this is why we call this trial and error, because obviously there's a lot of trial and error. think it's the word boundaries, but I mean, you know, at this point I'm willing to try anything to try to track it down. This, again, missed. This is in here. What's frustrating too is with Gskinner saying it matches, I don't have a ton to go on why it wouldn't. Now I did see that the order in these matters. So you know what? Let's just try moving this. Let's try moving it down and see. You know, right now I'm kind of shooting from the hip. Operator ends there. Save that. Let's give it a refresh. We run that last. Nope, wrong this. But this is still not getting captured. Okay. So we're gonna put it back because moving it didn't make a difference. Got scope here. We're gonna remove that, and we're gonna remove the word boundary. And we're gonna see if this works. Inspect. There we go. Okay. So this is captured here when I have no word boundaries around it. I'm not sure why that would be, other than maybe it being preceded here. Maybe that's, honestly, I don't know. But we got it captured, so that's good. I do want to make sure though that what would be a case. Okay, I want to make sure that if I call something, so we're going to modify our script here a little bit. We're going to say, if I did like, jump it. If I went in here and I said, because I don't want just the word this to be captured wherever it shows up. So like, var this thing equals 11 or 12. Sure, 12. Is this getting captured here? And this is. So that's not exactly, we need to refine this a little bit so that the words just floating on their own don't get captured. So how are we going to do that? Well, obviously not with the word boundary apparently, but let's see if we can do it with the trailing period, because we do know that we want these followed by periods, so that would be helpful. That should at least get us started. Inspect. So this one, oh, that one's fine. And that makes us miss this. I wonder if, but this is separate. And this thing, once again, is missed. So let's look at what's, I suppose this could be something with punctuation. Let me see here. Punctuation, which I do not have. Oh, no, those are operators, but it's not in the operator list. Comments, type, scope. I mean, it is followed. Let's just do this. Doesn't hurt. Greedy, true. When all else fails, try that. Inspect. Alright. This dot got captured here. That's good. And this thing did not. So it has something to do with how, maybe it has to do with the, I don't know if the C-like matching is greedy, perhaps. for, no, none of, are any of these greedy? What's greedy in here? Strings, but it's not a string, and comments. I'm gonna look at the docs about what, I feel like I shouldn't need this to be greedy. I'll zoom in here in a sec once I find the docs about greedy. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Zoomed in. Okay, this is a boolean intended to solve a common problem. Match a long string that comments. Ignore previous matches for other patterns and overwrite them when necessary. Yeah, I feel like I shouldn't need to do that here. Is this? Let's see if this is anywhere else in here. No, that's the only place that this is found. Let's open up C-like again. This is also not found in C-like. I mean, it's not getting captured, so why would I have to throw on the greedy flag for it to match? I don't know. I just don't know. Right now, inspect this. So we have punctuation, then a lot of space, followed by the word this not getting highlighted. All right. So B matches a word boundary between a word character and a non-word character, or position, start or end of string. So that shouldn't matter. This would match any of these, followed by a dot. I'm going to put this in the C-like one at the top, just to see if there's some weird clash with it extending it. And we'll see if this worked this time. This captured, so it's captured that time. And that wasn't greedy, right? That was just regular. No, it was not. It was not greedy. So this does have something to do with something that it's inheriting from C-like, or some. It doesn't have a scope, does it? No. What in here is capturing or interfering? Is it the punctuation? Might be the punctuation. Okay, I think that's what's going on though, so let's put it back. So we're no, what I have to look at here is if there's a way. Alright, how would I Just gonna open up the Java one. Oh, I think I can do that. I can do I saw them doing an insert before. Okay, let's try to do something like this. This is gonna happen after. Alright. This might help. I don't know exactly how I would do this. Let's go down to the bottom. We'll throw this in here. Languages insert for our language here. Oopsie. Oh, is CF script. So we're going to insert before, and what do we want to? So what we're going to insert is the scope one, because that's the one that seems to be getting messed with. So we'll throw this in here, and we're gonna insert it before. I mean, I don't even know what from the C-like was causing the problem. So let's just we'll just stick it before comment. So it should be first insert before comment. All right. So we don't have our and actually we want this to be non. We don't want to capture that. Well, let's just see if this works first, and then we'll fine tune it. All right, so in this case, inspect. Nice, we got it. All right, so hey, learned something. So something from that C-like was doing it, but we could use the insert before to jump before it. Now we don't actually want to capture that dot because it's punctuation, so we want it to be in a non-capturing group, which is what. Let's just do our cheat sheet. Our cheat sheet groups non-capturing is question mark colon. So I think, we might even be able to use this whole line here. Let's toss this in for our scope matcher. See if it works. Test drive, fingers crossed. Always cross the fingers. And inspect this. But we still have the period. That period is not supposed to be included. Alright, so non-capturing group. And let's just make sure that we saved. This is back to where it was. We'll close it. That's supposed to be a non-capturing group for the period. Do I have any other non-capturing groups in here? I do. In comment, and in property, and in string. Yeah, because I don't want that dot included here. Let's just look at that test again. We'll give it a hard refresh. I mean, it's probably sufficient. Just make sure the syntax is right. JavaScript regex non-capturing group. Yeah, it's the same. Question mark colon. Yeah, I feel like that should be discarded. Well, we know we have a word boundary here, so maybe this was superfluous. Let's just give it a shot. Let's give it a shot like that. See if it meets our edge case. Let's see if we just get this captured. Alright, that's fine. Right now, this is captured, and the dot file is it. This thing is not captured. So that's where we want it to be. We've fixed our issue with highlighting scopes, even though we can't quite see it because make sure arguments is good too. Because the syntax highlighter here doesn't have styling for scopes. Okay. My other issue, so we've got component property, those are all good. I mean, I can't fix like string, it knows it's a built-in like Boolean, but this is just the highlighting that this particular theme uses. I'm not a fan of all of them. We'll go dark again. I mean, I liked this one more or less. Var is a keyword. Let me make sure I have local in my scope list. I'm pretty sure I do. My scope, where's scopes? Scopes is at the bottom now, right? I don't, oh, good thought. Okay, CGI, and don't forget the local scope. Okay. Get that saved. Back to our test. All right, so this is my other issue. What I had wanted to do, and it just, I think I just might have come to the decision that it's too much trouble, is highlight. Well, let's take a look at our. Let's grab our test. We don't really need our test from here. We'll jump back to our test block in VS Code, which is here. I had considered wanting to highlight these properties, but as I'm looking at it now, maybe that's silly, because even here the highlighting is a bit different. I mean, you see that like username is different than type first name. It's kind of close. So I had thought of targeting these properties, the equal properties, and giving them highlighting. The issue was that when I did that, when I targeted them, I ended up aiming a bit too wide, for lack of a better description, and with the various patterns, and I don't honestly remember exactly where I left off. Well, you got a lot of color, but I almost feel like it's too much. So the targeting captured these properties here and these properties, and that's okay because they're kind of properties or attributes of something. But the same targeting then highlighted every variable that was set and the arguments, parameters that are being passed into functions. And I think it's just a bit, well, one, it's not targeted enough. And now I'm wondering, I'm not even sure exactly. First of all, I'm gonna undo my comment and jump back. I don't think it's entirely necessary. I mean, so if we go back to VS Code, because that was kind of my barometer was going off of what the highlighting in VS Code did. I mean, we have some nice shading here for variables, but it doesn't stand out, and that's good. This one's foo here is different from argument.product, and I wonder if I don't know if that's because it's a function here. It is. It's because it's getting set equal to a function. Oh, that's interesting. I might want to do that. That's kind of neat. We probably do want to do that. Okay, so this at least we probably want to do. Because foo is being set equal to a function, foo is receiving function highlighting, and that to me seems worthwhile. But as for highlighting properties, which is one of the things that I was aiming at in the very beginning, I don't think I'm going to be as married to that. But let's see if we can get this, because I just realized what's going on there, and that would be a nice addition. And what time? How long into this are we? 34 minutes. Okay, we got a little bit more time. So in here, so foo is not receiving that. What we probably want to do is, I'm pretty sure this happens in the JavaScript one, which is just a giant mess. but we might be able to grab something that we need. So function. So this is one way that they capture functions. Function variable. This is probably what we want. This must be declared before keyword because we use function inside the look forward. Interesting. Okay, hey, you know what? The best people steal. Alright, so we're going to stick this before, we're going to include their comment too, because it's helpful. Alright, jump to CF script, jump up to keyword up, so keywords first. We're going to try that and refresh and see what that gives us in our test drive. Well, it didn't work. I mean, you hope copy and paste works, but the number of times that it does is limited. Alright, so that did not work. Foo, we always got to check though. Okay, so foo is nothing there. I wonder if it's because let's just see, is that because var comes before it? Let's just make sure that it's not something because we have var before it. No, it's not. Okay. So let's look at what we actually pasted in here for our function variable. Crazy pattern. Looking for, we're going to go into GScanner. I think a lot of this might have to account for like emojis and, like super high ASCII characters. So wait. Oh my goodness. Lovely. I mean, this is good, but obviously we have another issue. So according to GScanner, like this is capturing foo like it's supposed to. So the regex is good. We just need to figure out what else is interfering with it. And I don't know what is. So it could be something from, we're doing this first, but we're extending C-like. We don't have async. We could probably, we can pull some of this out, but let's get it. Let's get it a little bit more. Let's get it working first, obviously. So obviously, position. We're going to open up C-like, and we're going to see if we can see anything obvious that might be conflicting with that. I think there's a function one in here, but it's not greedy. I mean, it is running first. We're going to try the same, and function is a keyword that's in there as well. We're going to try the same trick that we did before with using the insert before, and we'll see if that works here. Which would be nice. Save. Okay, test drive. Give me some. Oh yeah. Wait, I think we got it. All right, so the magic worked twice in a row. We got that caught as a function variable, captured correctly, and we'll just make sure that if var precedes it, which I don't think will be a problem since it was working before, if var precedes it, foo is still highlighted like a variable. Okay, so this is our highlighting for CFML. We've got strings captured properly. We have a decent list of keywords, component property. I think function is a keyword, right? We've got our scopes captured, even though the syntax highlighting doesn't quite cover it. Return is a keyword that's working. We've got Javadoc style comments working nicely there. And I'm assuming it's not, I don't think we're just targeting hint. I think we could put anything in here. Like we could do at product. And I think our highlighting would continue, right? Yeah, works well. Okay, public is a keyword. That's right. Any is a type, like a built-in. function's a keyword, submits a function, required is a keyword, I believe, yeah. And I think that's how we want that. Product's just a variable, coupon equal test is a string, boolean is a built-in, arguments is a scope. Oh, hey, Gregory, good to see you. Thanks. This is actually coming along pretty nicely. I'm hoping to get it up on GitHub with whatever I have here shortly, just for other people to look at and kind of clean it up a bit before I submit it. We have our struct here, which looks nice enough. You know, we should make sure. I don't think it's going to have a problem if it's using colons or you know, I'll do it here. Let's set this up separately just to make sure it looks right. Name something. If we did do this backwards, and we'll, you know, let's do a little bit test equals true. I think that's fine. In CF, technically, even though it's a bit sloppy. That's probably how we would want that highlighted. I mean, there's nothing we can do about that, and we're capturing the Boolean there. Okay. And then foo is a function because it's getting set equal to a function, so it's a function variable. Let's close that down there. Booleans, string, this is a built-in. Returns a keyword, this is a string. All right. Honestly, it's not perfect, probably. I'm sure there's some edge cases, but I'm pretty happy with where this got to. So I'm gonna clean this up a little bit. I don't even know what I've committed in here. I'm gonna get rid of the property highlighting because it was just a bit aggressive, and I don't think it's necessary. I think what we have is solid, unless, you know, someone wants to work on it and finds a better way to do that. I'm assuming this came from CoffeeScript, but I don't remember, so I'm gonna hop over to CoffeeScript, look for strings. Strings. I don't, let me move this to the side. I said the CoffeeScript approach to strings, which can be multi-line, also appeared to work here. I'm not seeing a problem with how we're dealing with strings. Thanks, Gregory. I appreciate it. I'm pretty happy with where this has ended up. Honestly, I was a little nervous about how it was going to come together. So I don't think I need, you know, I'll leave that comment in the event that that we end up needing to modify how strings are handled. But okay, so up. Oh, I'm in CoffeeScript now. Don't need that. Okay, the CoffeeScript approach to strings, which can be multi-line, also appeared to work here, but this one seems fine. We have our operator list, and those were working well. And then we have our scopes and our function variables, and we're exporting it. Awesome. Okay. So, get status. I have my to-do file there. Let me just look in that. It was pretty sloppy, so I think I can probably just get rid of it. We got our operator list and scope names, comments, punctuations, and Boolean. All right. Component could also be a built-in. Don't need to do that. Don't forget to alphabetize the words. Okay, you know, I'll do that now. Hey, yay for to-dos. I don't have a copy of Coldfish. You mentioned that before. Yeah, if you send it, I haven't tried applying any, you know, custom CSS to it, but I mean that would be awesome. So yeah, if you send that over, we can hook it up and see what it ends up, how it ends up highlighting, and if there's any like weak points that we need to modify. Back into CF script. All right, so with these, I'm going to alphabetize these lists. I forget why. I feel like there may have been something in the docs about doing that, or maybe some of the other libraries did it. So when you close that, we're going to do enter. We're going to sort lines ascending. Did that actually sort them? No, it did not. We're going to sort the lines ascending. And then we are going to add back in our bars. Put them at the end, line, delete. Okay. This, oopsie. CF script. That should work for alphabetizing those. These are already alphabetical. These are not, so we'll make them alphabetical just to make it easier for people to look at. Awesome, Gregory, thank you. All right, so new lines for everything. Sort them, ascending, and then add back in our bars. We'll drop that in. Okay, application, these are, again, I did not make these alphabetical. All right, and back to the sorting table, sorting page. What do we got here? 46 minutes, backspace, enter, A, sort ascending, bar, delete, copy. All right, those are in alphabetically. Let's just make sure that our alphabetical sorting didn't mess anything up here, and I don't, at least giving it a visual look, it doesn't look like it messed anything up. That's still captured properly. Nice. Okay, so we alphabetized all of our keywords. Back to the to-do list. Component could be built in, but we're not going to do that. We alphabetized the word. Yeah, so we didn't capture the variables. That's fine. This was me trying to do the property highlighting, so I don't need that. Function parameters with parentheses. Okay. All of you are done. Okay. To-do list is going to get deleted. I still will have to write the tests before this can actually be submitted. So let's clear this. Do I have anything? Is there a reason? Okay. Let's make this. Let's close one of these. Oops. Can I trash that? Clear that. Get status. And see what I changed in here. You know, I'm gonna have to like do a nice clean. Okay, we're gonna say alphabetize variables. There's a lot of stuff that got done here since the last time I did this. Okay, yep, you're gonna put everything in there, and then that is, yeah, sure. All right, git commit. Finish sorting variables, highlighting scopes, and function variables. Okay, that is up on GitHub. So Gregory, if you want to look at that on GitHub, that's pushed up there, so you could check that out. And if there's any, you know, if you got any suggestions, I'm more than happy to hear them. It's been 49 minutes, so I do now, I'm going to look at the docs now about actually submitting the PRs. And actually, I think I have to sync it with the upstream too, because it's been a while since I started this. Create a new language definition, rebuild Prism, add aliases, did all that. I don't think I needed to do this. Okay, add in tests. this is going to be the next step. Create a folder, tests language foobar. This is where your test files will live. The test format and how to run tests is described here. All right, running the test suite, npm test. And add a specific language. Okay, let's just see what's going on in here. You should add a test for every major feature of your language. Test file should test the common case and certain edge cases, if any. Good examples are the tests of the JavaScript language. You can use this template for a new test for test files. Code to test, brief description. For every test file, add the code to test and a brief description. Verify that your language definition correctly highlights the test code. This can be done using your local version of the test page. Note, using the show tokens option. You see the token screen? Yes, yeah. So I'm going to need to do that, but that was working correctly, which is good. Greg, I'm not going to do, so my goal is, I mean, I think we can get tags in there because, you know, there's HTML highlighting and stuff. My goal one was to get a PR in with scripts because that seemed like the most straightforward. And then that if, you know, if there was a need for tags like, you know, like you have, we could just update the existing CFML language one for it. So my goal was get in a working CFML scripts PR for Prism, and then handle tags as needed. Because honestly, doing both seemed a little bit more than I could bite off. Okay, for every test. All right, so I'm going to run the tests for just a different language. So I need to do a test. I need to do my tests, and then I need to do an example page, and then it would be ready to submit. Sweet. All right, so npm, and they said a good example, right, is the JavaScript ones. So we're going to run, hop back into Prism here, clear npm, oops, oh, didn't mean to run it from markup, but all right, I'm going to run it, clear, paste, oh, because it's a new line that it's running it, language, JavaScript. Okay, so let's just take a look at those tests. Those are in tests, languages, and okay. So let's look at the Java ones, because there's fewer. Java tests. All right, number feature test. Nope, thanks VS Code. So there's not a, okay. Checks for binary, hexadecimal, and decimal. Okay, so that's their number test. Operators. Checks for all operators. Okay. Putting together the tests is going to be a bit of a chore, but you know what? It's important. So we're going to say, what is it? JavaScript.test. Tests slash, is it tests slash? Yeah. JavaScript test. Okay. All right. So let's just go with the keyword one. So it just lists them. So it runs. I'm gonna have to do a little more digging here. Checks for all keywords. Well, we'll copy JavaScript because if that's given as the example, we can certainly make our tests follow that. Should be, you know, a lot of them will be straightforward like that. Okay, you know what? It is been 54 minutes. I'm pretty happy with where I got to. Pushed that up to GitHub. So I think I'm going to leave the testing for another day. But Gregory, thanks for being here and tagging along. Send over that cold fish, or take a look yourself, and feel free to reach out on Slack or whatever if there's anything that I can do to make it better, or on GitHub. And I'm hoping I can get this up. I don't know when to look at merge, but up and added to Prism. I don't know. It's the end of next week. Maybe a little ambitious, but I'm hopeful. Happy Friday. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week. Good night.